Hey guys, Dan the Wolfman here at Gokor's Highest On Academy. I'm going to talk Ultimate Kesa Gatame here because my last hammerlock video I talked about how I don't really like Kesa Gatame head and arm. I like modified against someone good. Now I'm not, against beginners or on the street or, blue belts or whatever, you can get away with Kesa if you have a good base or you've done judo and wrestling your whole life. But if you're going against like brown belt level, black belt level, it's a transitionary position. Even for like Ronda Rousey, it's a transitionary position. She'll hit it for 30 seconds and then go in a mount and look for the armbar. You're not going to spend a lot of time there unless you really develop your hips. So I'll talk about making it better. Okay, this is modified Kesa. This is much better. And then there's all kinds of stuff. You can look for top key locks from there. You can look for stepping over the crucifix, to the arm bars, to the triangles, to the double submissions, and all that stuff I have videos on. I'm with Greg here. I was training Gokor a long time, and I used to train with Haru. And his YouTube page is Greg's Grappling, so check him out as well. We kind of came up with stuff, we bounce ideas off each other. We're going to just show a lot of submissions. Good Kesa, you're going to want to grab inside here, behind the kind of ligament. It's kind of hard. That's where you really want to grab on the guy. And you always want to hike this tricep up and in. Okay, if you can get deep, that's great. So a good Kesa is going to be, if you can, get under his shoulder blade. Okay, and if you were just going to rest, you could rest here. Some people sit out way out. I don't like to sit way out because you can hook the leg around. We'll show a submission from there eventually. So I just like kind of here, and really, in my opinion, good catch wrestling, you should always be RCW, real catch wrestling, you should be lifting off the hips. You feel the difference? So I lift my hips off just barely. It adds a lot of weight to him. I focus my weight down and compress his chest. Always make your man uncomfortable. That's the staple of catch wrestling. Heavy, heavy, heavy. So I'm going to actually lift my hips off the ground just barely. Okay? So there's a difference. Even this is not a good position for him. And this is different. Now I can drive into him and ride him and he doesn't feel good. First submission is going to be just Mark Coleman style. Dan Severn, UFC 15, I believe it was, heavyweight championship, Coleman head crank. Okay, and there's different ways. I can grab his head a little higher and in all kinds of different positions to grab more towards the fulcrum to compress him. So if I'm just under his neck, it's not a good compression, but if I can get higher towards his head, then I can lift him and compress also the chest. So it's a chest and choke kind of compresses the lungs. Now a lot of times guys are gonna, as you're looking for these kind of submissions with the arm, the legs on the arm, a lot of times the guy's gonna grab together and try and bridge. So he's looking to take me this way, right? We don't like that. So anytime he's in there and you're having trouble opening him up, what you're going to do is come behind that elbow and do a kind of elbow shoulder compression. I think it's more on the shoulder. Kind of a shoulder compression there. I showed all this stuff at Dan Severn's place. I got footage on my YouTube channel. It's a little ghetto because it's old. They didn't have good cameras back then, but in 2000 you can see me showing all these submissions from Kesa on a crash pad at Dan Severn's place in 2000. So that one again, if he's got his hands together, you watch out for that roll and you can just lock together and compress it. Now maybe he releases them because he feels it. So then you can frame and keep him blocked out. When I'm talking framing is don't let him get control back of his arm. Keep it locked out. And so as he releases there from this, kind of keep that locked out and you're going to look for this one. Okay, so I got it right there. I'm going to go down with one leg, fulcrum up with this one. Boom. There's a straight arm bar with the legs. And keep them framed out. You're going to go for the V arm lock, sorry. He's not that flexible that way. So I'm going to go for V arm lock. Give you a little space. Here, when you do that, you're also going to compress the head and do like a collarbone separation. I've talked about it other times. It can actually break right there. So those are the main submissions with the legs. Usually as a guy is avoiding this one, you can then kind of push the arm aside for your head and arm triangle choke. Here or here, wherever you want to finish it, or gangster lean action, wherever you want to finish your arm triangle. From arm triangle position, sometimes that could lead, maybe you start to lose it, that can lead to the gift wrap. So now I got a gift wrap here, guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop my armpit over the elbow, underhook the arm, and now it's a chest compression and I'll lift the head too. Nasty, nasty, nasty. And it's a chest compression here with a head lift. Okay, this is what I'm doing. So one more time, gift wrap. Here, lift, slide over, hook this one under, and then I'm gonna lift my butt off the ground, chest compression, and lift the head and mine as well. Make it as uncomfortable as possible. That's actually a chest choke. Okay, so you're choking his lungs. Compression. From there, next, if he defends an arm triangle choke with the typical answering the phone block, I've talked about it in other videos, you go to the telephone block. Yeah, it's a separation of the elbows. Keeping the elbow pivoted, pinned in one spot, and taking the wrist out the other direction. Just make sure you get a few different angles here. So he blocks there. Yeah, you can still get a good arm triangle if you have a good squeeze, but I always like to play with the telephone lock. Comes from an old Judo book from Nakamura that I learned way back in the day. That's how I actually learned that lock. From there, if he's tough and flexible, even when I'm cranking the guy, sometimes he doesn't quite tap, I'm going to look for the Q-bone, okay? So you can slide this in and go for like a snake choke on his throat, okay? Because I got the hand in on the throat, so come around, make sure you get on top. So if I'm here, if I can slide this in here, slide in here, I can get the throat that way. Now, what it is here, I'm looking for the telephone lock. I slide that in. Sometimes it doesn't quite get it towards the neck, but I can get the philtrum of the nose pressure point. Got to tap out there, and hold catch wrestling. I want to be nasty. I can put a knuckle in his eye. I don't suggest that for grappling tournaments, guys. Okay, but it's there. You guys got to know that stuff. Okay. From there, you're going to look for this kind of stuff again, and as the guy's fighting you, if you don't get any of those submissions, you can get you can hop over it. This is a quick kill, and I didn't think it's very high percentage because the guy can bridge you. But you shove it to the mat, you sit on it, and then lift for that head compression too. When we do any of these head compressions, I'm kind of showing it big, pro wrestling stuff, but you should really have your head low. But now, a big guy against a smaller guy, or against anyone really strong, we'll switch positions now. He's got to watch me get him rolled. So I'm just going to roll him from there. So I didn't think I was going to teach this, but we combined our ideas here and we came up with something good as a setup. So don't go for the armbar yet, just I'm going to show how to bridge it. So step over it. Boom, he sits on the arm. You just sit on it and now go for the headlock. So he's doing this, but I'm a tough, strong guy. I'm going to come into him, okay, and I'm going to bridge him. Cool. That's what you got to watch out for. And against a strong guy, a guy with big muscles, his arm's actually pretty wide. So I've tried this live on a guy, and if you go for it, you got to go for it fast. Because literally the guy's width of his arm is raising his hips, his base, a little too high off the ground. So that one is kind of so slow, if you go for it, you got to go for it fast, or you use it as a setup. So we combined our two ideas here. He had this armbar idea, and we're going to combine that. Now he's going to crank on my head. I'm not going to like it. Oh, God. So I'm going to turn into him and start to do this kind of action, and then I go to bridge him. Now as I go to bridge him,
I'm going to base over here. I'm going to show it slow first time, and then we can get more detail. You base out here. As you base, you're going to turn, and you're going to try to get your shin on his neck right here. So I'm pretty much coming right here. And then as I'm coming here, my left leg is going to come over his face, and we're going to end up in an arm wrestle.
Oh, quick kill right there. So he's setting the big guy up for the bridge, and then counters it with the quick kill armbar.
So a little bit quicker would be, we're fighting here, and I know I'm baiting Dan into this. I know Dan's going to try to roll me over. As he tries to roll me over, we're going to go here, and that's it right there.
You see, his leg position here is important on the neck, guys. That's a really good control position.
If you're anywhere off of the neck right here, or whatever, this armbar becomes very loose. So keep it behind the neck. I was always taught to keep the head lifting with this, and the other one goes over, pushing it down. And then obviously knees tight. Follow the, make sure you're going whichever way the thumb is pointing. Pull down, sideways, whatnot. Or
show the choke.
Another thing we can do from here is, if you can go around and grab your own shin from here, you have a shin choke.
Oh, yeah, that is not fun. So it's just a scissor choke, basically on the neck. But if you can grab, I can't usually reach the grab, but if you can grab, it's nasty. Yeah. So let's use the headlock as a setup. So if you're sitting on, you want to sit on this to separate the shoulder from the neck. It's important. So as he cranks, the guy's going to turn in and usually try to get his hands or reach his lat to try and bridge. And then he's going to go. Now that's a nice setup and a nice quick kill. Okay, I'll do once. So we're here. I'm looking in here. Boom! I go for a quick kill, sitting on this. Turn it. Now this guy's gonna base on me. I'm gonna turn here. I would like to grab the hip bone. I got this behind the neck, and then I could go in a spider web. Okay. Or if I'm in here, I lift. He turns in, goes for the bridge. As he's bridging, I'm going to come here, this position, kind of like Silat is how I think of this, because I like to think fighting and hitting. But from here, I'm going to grab my own hip bone and look for the leg. And even if it's a super strong guy and he keeps going forward, keep going this way. Here, I'm going to go here. Oh, I'll keep you there 1 second. Here, I can hit the Russian armbar. Right here, I stopped as he was going for the roll right away, which is good, because he knows what he's doing. So I can go for the Russian armbar right here. There's a tap, or control it, flip him over, and again, finish the armbar here. So that's a really good one. So we combine our ideas. That's why it's important to network with everybody and just kind of have a good opinion. I can learn from him, he can learn from here, and we kind of put a lower percentage submission into a nice setup for this quick kill armbar. We gotta hit some other stuff, leg locks and stuff from Kesa. Okay, back here. Now, one reason I don't like Kesa a lot is because when a guy's spread out, jiu-jitsu guys will often learn to tuck their head and bring the leg up to the leg to try and get a hook in, right? Anytime someone hooks, what you're gonna do is thigh master compress this. Boom, right away. Thigh master compress it so I own it. Try and get your leg back up. Nope. It's really even hard for him to straighten, especially if I point my knee, thigh master step. All right, so here, Gracie from what that TV show was. Okay, and then there I'm gonna do like a toe lock, put my elbow here, and I'm gonna get a compression and like a toe hold. Yep. Or like the catch ankle lock I do from side mount and half guard. Okay, so I'm in here, riding on. He's starting to stake out, and he hooks his leg. Boom, right away, compress, grab the top of the toes, put the elbow in, and use a fulcrum and pull the toes toward your own head. Or in a big circle, put it all the way towards his butthole like you do with all leg locks, okay? So here, okay. Now, besides that, let's look at the boss root and crusher, that Soa Palele, a tall guy I tried in the UFC prelims about 2 or 3 UFCs ago. And once, live, Manny Gambirian here got this on me. Okay, even though I'm familiar with the technique. Quick surprise, you know, guy's looking this, he's shoving his face, he's grinding, he's heavy, his hips are off the ground. And then, wham, he's gonna hook this leg, boom, thigh master pressure, up by the knees, here. So you don't wanna be too low, according to Boss Rutan, you wanna be up higher at the knees, and this one sucks for him, even just taking it. So this and the chest choke. I call it the Boss Rutan Crusher or the Thigh Master. Super, super nasty. Besides that, there's a knee bar. I won't show it. Buy Gokar's 5 DVD set on leg locks. It is completely awesome. Will change your world. He shows how to get a knee bar from Kesa. So, you know, there's so many submissions. We'll have to look at the defenses. The defenses are hooking the leg, flipping the guy over, and kind of combining it. I cheat with the leg, reaching around, and then I flip the guy over. You want to show? Yeah, maybe I'll show it fast. Are there any submissions we forgot?
I want to select more.
Yeah, what do you know?
So, a lot of times we're stuck in Kesa, we're fighting, whatnot. Well, what's very common? Dan sneaks out the back door. I mean, I'm pretty much in a shithole from here. He'll take my back, he'll whatever, cause a scramble, or roll me over. So as it's a complete timing move. You have to drill it to get good at it. But as Dan's coming here, I'm gonna completely go to like a shoulder walk, and I'm gonna turn back. So I'm coming in here, and I'm turning right back into the Kimura.
Double wrist lock.
Double wrist lock. One more time. So we're fighting. Dan manages to slip. As he slips, I come right back into the double wrist.
See how his hips are floating on me? That's kind of like how Frank Mir has finished some of his double wrist locks, right?
That's exactly how Frank Mir finished Nogueira.
Yeah.
He finished Nogueira like that. And the funny story is, Frank was actually training with Harut a little bit before he finished Nogueira with that. So
yeah, he likes that trick from the half guard. The guy passes the half guard, he uses the momentum and comes up on top. So learning how to switch your hips side to side are important. Why don't you show the armpit armbar too? A little lower percentage, but if you have good timing, you can kill it. So if the guy pushes the face, you know, one of my defenses here is just instinctual self-defense or whatever. Guy's going to push the face, or jiu-jitsu style is going to be push it down and hook it with the legs and triangle and break his neck and come up on top and all that.
okay, this is more from like a inverted Kesa where you have an underhook on this side. So there's a few things you can do from here. One that I've been playing with is like an old Japanese jiu-jitsu move, but if you're fast enough, you can land it on anything. You can land it on anything, you just gotta time it. As Dan's going to push my face, left arm goes behind his elbow, right arm drives him across, and we get into this old kind of armbar position. One more time.
So take my energy and make a fulcrum.
So we're gonna go here. I'm using his momentum right into this. Now, if Dan bends his elbow in towards me, no worries. Drive your elbow to the mat and lift yourself up.
Same as omoplata, guys. It's all chicken wings and hammer locks. So it was a hammer lock. If it was straight, I probably defended it naturally because I don't like to get armbar, so I rolled it. But if it's straight, I'll do that.
So again, you're gonna come right here, and then from here, just lift him up.
Okay. So obviously, develop your base, your balance, your Kesa game. There's a lot of submissions there. Okay, we played it with a lot. I'll quickly show some defense. Maybe I'll do another video. I'm just defending, but anytime someone gets me in here, I'm going to try to suck my elbow back into my hips. I'm going to try to get out the back door a little bit, and I'm going to start to push his hips with my knee and make him walk away. Walk away. I look for this. He's scared of it now. You know, if he doesn't know that submission, he walks away again farther. As he walks again farther, I pop my hips inside and then bridge him over. And that's how I get really, really good guys. So it's combining the leg hook usually, maybe the leg over the head, and the bridge. But usually I make him walk away and then counter him with my hips underneath as a fulcrum, like a teeter-totter. Your other defenses, if his head's high on stuff, will be maybe to bridge him and then push his face, come over, leg scissor him down. Aha, my knee just popped, and then come on top. So I think that's it, guys. I'm gonna end the video now as my knee gives out, and please subscribe to my YouTube page, Dan the Wolfman 1, makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Hit this guy up at
Grappling.
and look at gokar.com and jinglebell.com. Thanks, guys. Yep.